Lexus LC 500. This is like attainable dream car status for me, so I was pretty excited to drive it. Gained some initial impressions. It's definitely fast. Faster than I was expecting it to be. But everyone knows the engine that's in this, about the response, the sound. Yeah, it's pretty good. It doesn't really disappoint. There is like some weirdness with this car though. Like I was coming into this expecting the interior to just be like super nice, because that's what everyone says about it, but there's kind of like weird things that are throwing me off. Like hitting the blinker, for example. Like, listen to how this sounds. I don't know if that's like a small complaint, but like for a car that costs like $100,000, like that's kind of not great. It's kind of strange, even just cruising here, like, there's a lot of road noise. Like, it's really not quiet in here. I don't know if that's going to come across on the mic, but yeah, I know later models, this is a 2018 later model LC 500s. People said they revised the suspension and made it ride a lot softer. And yeah, this is definitely on the firmer side for sure, for like a grand touring car like this. Yeah, that's a weird amount of road noise in here. The transmission in this is kind of interesting too. It's not shared with like any other Lexus vehicle. Like they made it specifically for this car, the 10-speed. I know it's not like super smooth though. Like downshifting, like it rev matches, but it kind of like bucks the whole car sometimes.
You mean you can really feel when you change gears? Like you can really feel it?
Like the upshifts are smooth, but like some of the downshifts, like it's like super jerky. Like you feel it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like
that's
that
what I
was
meant.
Smooth, but like
yes.
sometimes it's not. It does sound really good though. Like this engine just makes like cruising around so nice too. It just sounds good like all the time.
Was this car made just for like short distance trips, or can you actually cruise with it like a 6-hour drive?
No, this is like a straight up like GT car.
Oh.
And for going like super long drives with.
Oh wow. Do you think it'd be comfortable riding it? Like,
I don't know. These seats are comfortable, but they're like really like tight. Like I can't really like move around at all. They're kind of like on like the sportier side.
Okay, see, for me it's like a perfect seat. It like hugs me, but that's because you know I'm smaller. So like for a smaller person, it's like a perfect size. It's really comfortable.
Like versus the LX though, like those seats are like a sofa. Like you can like move around and sit differently. Like when I'm held in like this, like you can't like readjust and like change your position on the seat really. Okay. I think like after a while that's what starts to get really annoying. I don't think I'd ever get sick of doing that though. It's just crazy how loud it is. Like I really was not expecting that at all. Like I was expecting this to be like a level like above the LX. Like how was the LX like based on a truck and like still quieter than this? You look at like the door handles though. You see like how like stylized they are.
I did.
Like you can tell they definitely like actually put thought into like designing all of this with like the way things like swoop around and everything.
And I like how the dashboard has this pattern little thing behind. Do you see it? And it actually based on how the light falls on it, it's a different pattern. That's pretty cool.
I think the ambient lighting goes into that too.
Ooh, I didn't even think of that.
I feel like you'd like have to buy a later model one that has like a touchscreen there though, versus using like this thing.
The little pad was just not it. And I also feel like it takes your eyes off the road for quite a while to try to use this pad.
It's like too many things to focus on. Like with a touchscreen, you can like glance at it and like know just like where to like push your hand. This you have to like see what you're hitting, move your finger the right amount. I feel like I had like such high expectations for this car. It was like never gonna live up to it, but like how loud it is would like actually get annoying. Like that's just crazy for a car like this.
Like even the interior and like the way you're sitting in it, I feel like it reminds me a lot. I've been in one of my friend's cars and it was a Mercedes, that AMG one, and with just 2 seats, and it was brand new.
Like an SL like that?
Probably, I don't know. It was. She only had it for a little while, but the thing is, you could not hear anything outside of the car.
Yeah.
Like nothing.
That's definitely like the biggest surprise for me so far. That's another thing. It's like, what do you really like compare something like this to? Like what's in the same class as this? Because like the styling alone is like
it's very
out
nice.
there. Like,
yes.
It like legit looks like a concept car that like they actually made.
Yes.
It is crazy from like seeing like pictures of this car and just like knowing that like Lexus makes it. Like you wouldn't expect it to be like as loud as it is. Because this is like a factory exhaust and it's like actually loud.
Do you want me to open a window so you can really hear it?
I mean, you can hear it enough even with the windows closed.
Oh yeah,
like,
you totally can. Yeah. That was really loud. I think we're so lucky to live so close to nice driving roads. Like really close. You just drive half an hour and you're here.
Yeah, no, like Mount Charleston is basically like you can't really like do anything there. Like it's scenic, but you can't go like fast.
But that's where we're really opposite because I don't like to go fast. I like to go
Just the scenery.
just the scenery, yeah. The only time I like to drive fast is when I really try to pass people driving very slow for no reason. And I just like to go like, meow.
Do you like other?
I like how you have like a visual cue in a dashboard. It turns orange when you're supposed to change gears. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah, in the sport mode, it definitely looks crazy. Yeah, it definitely doesn't do that in like the normal driving mode. That was like such a cool instrument cluster, though. LC 500. We've been driving this around pretty much all day now. The sun's going down, so I feel like we've kind of made our decision, have some thoughts about it. Definite highlight is the engine. It really feels special no matter what you're doing. If you're driving through some nice roads out here, even just driving through traffic, like, you always hear it and it always feels special. We mentioned the suspension before, and we actually tested out comfort mode, which we were just in Sport Plus that entire time filming, but putting it in comfort really, I guess, loosens up the shocks and it rides significantly better. I'm not really used to the modes really changing much with the suspension, but in this car they actually do make quite a big difference. I think a huge part of this car is just the overall cool factor of it. Like, you know you're driving something that just looks crazy on the road. It just looks like a concept car, and like, everyone looks at it. It looks crazy. If they hear it, it sounds crazy. Like, it has just a lot of road presence.
I think this is a good example of a car that suits both, like, a very casual driver like me, who I prefer to just be very cozy and comfortable while driving, but also for you who are, like, actually enthusiastic about driving. Don't you think?
That is really true. It does really have, like, a dual personality to it. In comfort mode, driving on the highway, it is just, like, very comfortable and just a very, like, nice place to be. But, like, on nice roads out here, you can, like, actually have fun with it. And it is, like, pretty engaging. There's not, like, a ton of steering feel, but it is, like, very direct. Obviously, the sound, the engine, the handling in general is, like, very composed for a car like this. I think Grand Tours in general, it would have been easy to make a car that was just very disconnected from the whole driving experience, but I think Lexus really did a good job of keeping you engaged and really giving it that dual personality so that you can really enjoy it no matter what you're doing with it. One more thing about the gearbox too. It seems to do really well when you're flat out, but just driving around in traffic, it can be pretty clunky at times, which is strange because that's very un-Lexus-like. You're just expected to be smooth and just, like, kind of, like, fade into the background, but at lower RPMs it's always, like, clunking or dragging or doing something weird.
Yourself changing the LX for this car as a daily driver?
I don't know. You definitely could daily something like this, but I don't really know if I'd want to. I feel like I would still prefer the LX. Just because I wouldn't have to care about it as much. Like someone, like, door dinging in a parking lot or something. I feel like we're kind of like the target audience for a car like this too. We don't need the practicality of, like, a sedan, for example. We don't have kids. Like,
yeah,
we can kind of make it work with our lifestyle. Yeah, like I said towards the beginning, this was my attainable dream car. And after driving it now, I don't think that's changed. I'd like to try one of the later revisions, though. I'm curious what they did with the suspension that everyone said made such a big difference in the ride quality. I feel like the biggest negative for this car is just the price. These just don't lose their value. Like, even a 2018 like this, which are the least desirable because they didn't get the changes, the updates to the infotainment or the suspension, but they're still high 60s, low 70s for a good one. Something like this, I feel like you're actually, like, getting your money's worth, though. I feel like all the attention to detail in here and, like, the engine, the whole chassis, the materials this car is made out of, like, you can kind of, like, see where your money's going.